Hey NXT fans, QR didn't forget about you. As promised, here is all of the news out of NXT this week that I could not fit into the original video. Let's jump right to it.
Let's move over to NXT, where there weren't as many huge bombshells, but we did get one big announcement to kick off the show. NXT General Manager and WWE Hall of Famer Shawn Michaels announced that the brand would be reviving the Cruiserweight Championship, which was unified with the NXT North American Championship just over a year ago. This caught the attention of reigning North American champion Wes Lee, who just defended his title successfully in a spectacular Fatal 5-Way at NXT Stand and Deliver over WrestleMania weekend. Wes Lee happens to be one of the hottest cruiserweights of the company right now, and the champion argued, respectfully, that since his title carries the lineage of the previous cruiserweight belt, that he's technically the defending champion, and he should get a shot at winning the new one and becoming a double champion. The crowd seems supportive of the idea, and so Michaels agrees to grant Lee one of the 4 slots in an upcoming ladder match to determine the new Cruiserweight champion. Another slot will go to one of the 4 men who Wes Lee handpicked as his opponents for Stand and Deliver: the high-flying, masked superhero Axiom, the Russian technician Ilya Dragunov, the Irish ace J.D. McDonough, and the well-traveled Mexican luchador Dragon Lee. These 4 men would face each other in the night's main event, and Michaels promised Lee that the rest of the competition for the title would be just as global in scope. Let's jump ahead to that and then double back. While all 4 competitors had their moments in the match, the clear hero was Dragon Lee, the division's newest addition and therefore an X-factor that all his opponents wanted a piece of. J.D. McDonough in particular seemed laser-focused on the luchador, stalking him around the ring and eventually hitting him with his finisher, a backdrop suplex he calls the Devil Inside. McDonough was furious when he was unable to immediately capitalize on the hit due to a traffic jam with Axiom and Dragunov, and this gave Lee enough time to recover and kick out of a pin. Eventually, it's McDonough who eats the pin from Dragon Lee after getting hit with his finisher, Desnucadora. No surprise here that Dragon Lee is the one of these guys to move on to the title match. He's won junior heavyweight titles at both CMLL and New Japan in the past, and while I wouldn't want to put money down until I know who else is actually going to be in the match, I'd say he's already a safe bet to bring home the title and carry the new division. Jumping back to the first hour of the show, there was a coronation for new NXT Women's Champion Indy Hartwell, as well as a tease as to who her first challenger might be. At Stand and Deliver, Hartwell won the Women's Championship ladder match under dubious circumstances, as her husband, the silent, sweet serial killer Dexter Lumis, helped lift her up the ladder. This is a rare example of a babyface stealing a championship and remaining a babyface. The crowd loves the odd couple that is Index, and was thrilled to see Indy get her first singles title in WWE. But it does open her up to an angle with another babyface. Late in that same ladder match, newly minted babyface Gigi Dolan nearly had the belt in hand when she was attacked by her former tag team partner, JC Jane. During Indy's coronation on Tuesday, Dolan demanded to be first in line for a title shot, something to which both Hartwell and the live audience seemed open to. However, their hopes for an impromptu title match were dashed when JC Jane ran down the ramp and attacked Dolan from behind. The brawl was fine, but it's Indy's reaction that cracked me up. While Gigi and JC wail on each other on the ramp, Indy says, "Okay, you seem to have your own thing going on right now, so let's catch up on this later." Then she leaves the ring and just delicately sidesteps around the fight on her way out. Pretty good stuff. On the other side of a commercial break, Dolan and Jane have now entered the ring and were engaging in a sanctioned one-on-one match, but this quickly devolved into a brawl and ended with a disqualification when Jane grabbed the timekeeper's chair and smashed Dolan over the head. This feud is clearly ongoing, so maybe Hartwell versus Dolan isn't a sure thing, but we'll see what happens. In tag team action, we get the promised grudge match between The Family, Mafia-themed wrestlers Tony D'Angelo and Channing Stax Lorenzo, and Pretty Deadly, Elton Prince and Kit Wilson, the fashion-forward duo who served as the hosts of Stand and Deliver. The Family's beef with Pretty Deadly is pretty simple. The Italian tough guys find the effeminate Brits annoying and want to shut them up. Short match, some good comedy spots, and Kit Wilson ends up eating a pin from Boss D'Angelo. This feud seems to be functionally turning Pretty Deadly from comedy heels into, maybe comedy baby faces, sort of falling into the screwy wabbit category. We get some more fallout from Stand and Deliver regarding this tag team championship match in which the Scottish drinking buddies Gallus defended the title against The Family and super athletes, the Creed brothers. It seemed like Gallus might be dethroned when their third member, Joe Coffey, made a surprise return and helped his brother Mark and their teammate Wolfgang retain the championships. This week, the Creed brothers, Julius and Brutus, decided that since Gallus is once again a 3-person team, they should even the odds. Julius and Brutus challenged Gallus to a 3-on-3 match, recruiting their Diamond Mine stablemate Ivy Nile as their third member. Again, we're seeing that the seal has broken on intergender wrestling in the WWE, with commentator Vic Joseph citing Jade Cargill's match on Raw as precedent. The Gallus boys, heelish manly men that they are incredulous that a team with a girl in it could stand a chance against three big Scotsmen. But after a few demeaning remarks from Wolfgang, Gallus agrees to humor them with a non-title match. Naturally, this doesn't go at all as the Gallus boys had hoped. Ivy Nile decides to single out Wolfgang and teach him a lesson in humility. Neither of them spend much of the match as the legal competitor, as Ivy is too busy wailing on Wolfgang at ringside to the delight of the crowd. Julius gets the pin, and Gallus goes home to cry into their beer. Until next week. The final big development of the evening was something I think everybody saw coming. Braun Breaker turning heel on the new NXT champion, Carmelo Hayes. The braggadocious Carmelo Hayes captured the NXT Championship from Braun at Stand and Deliver this past Saturday and got a huge ovation for it. Hayes has technically been a heel for some time, but he is beloved right now, and Braun Breaker's got this great mean streak, so it makes sense to pull a double turn here, cementing Hayes as a babyface and making Braun into a monster heel. Looks like we're headed towards a rematch with a new dynamic between them, and that's fine with me.
With so much up in the air about this new era, it's really hard to say what NXT's role is going to be and how much what's changing up top is going to trickle down to the one part of WWE that Trips has already had a great deal of influence in from the beginning. But whatever happens, you can bet we're going to be talking about it right here on my channel. So like, subscribe, and don't forget to tell me what a big dipshit I am in the comments. It's why I do this. That about wraps her all up. As always, thank you for watching, and until next time, follow the QR code.